We're back in the book of Luke during this neighborhood church weekend, and I'm here with Pastor Lee Shabange from our San Ramon Valley area church. So glad you're here. This is awesome.
Thanks. I love being here.
I'm so glad. I hope that you feel welcome here
definitely.
in our little house. Mm-hmm. You talked about how the road to Jericho really needs some refurbishing. I looked up some reviews on Yelp.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want to read some with me?
Sure.
Start with the first one there.
I would love to. Would not recommend for solo travel. Got mugged halfway through and the priest didn't even make eye contact.
Yeah. How about this one? Great views, terrible hospitality, bring your own donkey and first aid kit. I thought that was good. 1 star.
1 star, 2 stars for that one.
Oh, 2 stars, you're right.
Took a shortcut from Jerusalem. Huge mistake. Should have just stayed home and journaled.
Yeah, how many stars?
1.
From Anxious Pilgrim.
Yep.
I love this one. 3 stars. I'm like, wait, what?
3 stars?
It says, road was a bit rough, but I made a lifelong friend in a guy who poured oil on me. 3 stars for unexpected bonding. Oh. That's nice.
Bonding time. 1 star. I was bleeding out and still no one offered me a ride. Worst Uber ever. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But you know what? That's the experience of people still sometimes in our life. The people that we get to interact with. We're walking this road. And so my question for you is, how do we keep showing up on roads that feel dangerous, that feel exhausting? How do you do that?
You know, something that even today, even driving here, something that I pray to God daily, and it's a hard one because it means you're signing up for it too, is God, just give me the eyes to see where an opportunity exists where I can step in. Or if, for example, if you're in your car, you know, there's some people that have road rage and stuff too. And I was quite frustrated on my drive this morning with a car in front of me. But even in moments like that is like, I don't want to be a participant in making that person feel bad, or I don't want to get angry about it. So I want to be a good citizen right now, and I want to be a good person right now, and just pray that God can help teach me in this moment of how to love, even in those moments.
And as a singer, do you just break out in Jesus, take the wheel?
Sometimes I do, actually, but not that song. But yeah, sometimes I do. Yeah.
We do need Jesus to step in there, because in our flesh, we just want to just go, you know what, get out of my way.
Yes.
Or give people like Pastor Stephen, you know, the 1 finger salute.
Yes.
Because
I remember that from last week.
Oh my gosh.
Yikes.
Hey, you encourage us not just to help people, like just example, you know, on this Jericho road, but you encourage us to fix the road. What would that look like for someone who's joining us today and they feel overwhelmed? They don't have much to offer, perhaps they think.
I think we all have a skill set where we can provide for people, whether it's through prayer or whether it is cooking a meal, or maybe you're door dashing a meal. You're like, I'm not a good cook, but I'll door dash a meal for this family down the road that is struggling. But sometimes we're in seasons where we need help too. So sometimes we're incapable in hard seasons where you can't show up for someone because you're barely showing up for yourself. And that's okay, but that's where community comes in too, where the people, like all of us, are required to fix this broken road, but that means, hey, I'm going to show up for you. I'm going to show up for you.
Yeah.
You know, that's where church community comes in. You know, that missional piece. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
You also talked about the Samaritan and how the Samaritan, because of using that example, Jesus used that example, he crossed major cultural, racial, religious division to help someone. In today's polarized world, can you talk about what that might look like for us to be neighbors to people that are not like us?
I like to go back to, I like the word curiosity, is just to be curious about, you know, why people do what they do or why they think what they think. I think there's a lot of assumptions that are made in the gaps. That we like to fill those gaps in with our, you know, assumptions.
That's profound. Yes, assumptions are made in the gaps.
Yeah, and so that curiosity piece, which is, you know, what I love about Cornerstone too, and our values of in being inclusive is, in order to be inclusive, you have to be curious about people. Otherwise, you're only inviting people into the circle that are like you. And so when you're choosing to go outside of that, you're choosing to ask questions. You know, hey, can we sit down for a cup of coffee? I want to hear why you think this way, or I want to hear why you have that flag in your driveway, or, you know, like whatever it is. It's curiosity, and to be curious is to love, I think.
I love that.
Yeah.
Alicia, I'm so glad we're friends. This is what I want to leave you with. This week, I would love for you to ask God to show you just maybe one person to, be curious with, somebody along your path who needs help or needs to be with you, and then just act. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just cross the road, or don't cross the road. Offer kindness, share your time, and show up. I think that if each one of us did that, even, I don't know, once a week, imagine what our streets would look like, what a neighborhood would feel like, what kind of a church we would become. We would be a people known not for what we kind of believe on paper, but for how we love in practice. And then together, we'd start to rebuild a Jericho road that's not feared, but trusted. A road where people no longer kind of lie beaten and unseen, but people that are restored, and because someone like you stopped to help. So thank you, Alicia. And let me also put a question here on the screen that you can use to go a little bit further in exploring all these truths. We'll leave it up for a few minutes, and I want you to wrestle with this question this week, okay? Here it is. What road are you being invited to walk this week? And who might be lying on the side of it, waiting for you to stop? I'm so glad you were here, and I can't wait to see you next time.